Hey
everyone, Sean Ryan here from EXP Realty, the Ryan Realty Group, and as I promised, we're here at noon today, and we're here with Charles from Champion Home Inspections, and we're just going to go over a little bit today what a home inspection is all about, why should I get one, and what are they good for. So Charles, why don't you give us a little introduction on yourself and tell us your background.
Absolutely. So my name is Charles Pfeiffer. I'm the part owner, operator of Champion Home Inspections here in Sarnia. Spent several years building homes, renovating homes, roofing homes. So I have a lot of past experience in terms of home construction and the properness or improperness there within those homes.
Yeah. Great.
Yep.
So how long has your company been around for, Sarnia?
So we established in 2012, so 6 years at this point.
Yeah.
We average probably about 50 inspections per month, so we're a full-time inspection company. And we are only building off of that and continuing on forward as we move.
Great. And then feel free, if there's anything that we're not covering or you want to learn about, comment on it in the section and we'll try to address it. And we'll have lots of likes and hearts too if there's comments that you really like. So your company also offers other services besides home inspections too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So other services would include mold sampling, air sampling, right? Asbestos sampling.
Okay.
We also do radon monitoring now.
Okay.
We've got some really cool state-of-the-art radon monitors that are just new on the market.
So a lot of people, what's radon monitoring?
So radon is a naturally forming gas underneath the Earth's surface.
Yeah.
It can come from water supplies, rocks, different types of granites underneath the Earth.
Okay.
So it naturally releases. It can variate in its amounts coming out of the Earth. And
Yeah.
most homes will have a certain amount in it. And it's strictly because you penetrated the Earth with your foundation and now you have sort of seepage points for that gas.
Okay.
So monitoring it, not only on a short term, but even on a long-term basis, can really give you an idea of where your levels are at and whether you need to look at any type of remediation or not.
Okay, and so what other services do you have?
So otherwise, ozone blasting. So ozone blasting is a odor treatment.
Yeah.
Generators that we use turn oxygen into pure ozone gas. And ozone gas is used in the elimination of, it'll kill off mold spores, it'll kill off allergens and pollens. It'll really just clean and freshen your air out.
So if we had a house, let's say, that someone bought that had a smoke in it for a long term, is that something that would help with that? Or?
It will help, but what we find with, in the case of cigarette smoking, is that it really clings to surfaces, it gets embedded into fibers, and deep cleaning is usually needed before ozonation, and ozone really is that perfect finishing treatment. It's finally
final touch.
Exactly.
Okay, great. And what other, is that all the services you offer?
That is otherwise thermal imaging.
Yeah.
Now, thermal imaging we use as a standard part of our regular home inspections.
Okay.
To scan the home, looking for things like lack of insulation, cold air drafting, water pipes and walls that might be leaking.
Yeah.
They're great for if you want to identify duct runs. So if you have plans on doing renovations, you want to know what you're going to be cutting into. You can definitely identify duct runs and things like that.
Is that a thermal imaging?
It's a thermal imaging.
So this is pretty cool. So we see this on home inspections all the time. And Charles, we're going to point it at our air conditioner.
And so we can get a decent image here. So what you're seeing on the thermal imaging screen here is, and it's kind of too dark over in this area, but basically what happens is you are getting a reading of temperature, and it is visually identified through colors. So warm temperatures being yellows, oranges, reds, cold temperatures being blues and purples. And that's how we definitely identify certain issues in homes. So if you see warm colors, say an electrical panel, you may have an overloaded circuit. If you see cold colors inside of a wall, maybe lack of insulation, it may be moisture issues. So it's a really great way to identify issues that otherwise can't be seen with the human eye.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So let's go into a little bit of qualifying home inspectors. So how would you suggest the general public, how would they pick a home inspector?
So I think a great way to pick a home inspector is first talk to your agent.
Yeah.
Your agent's going to likely give you a couple of choices for referrals.
Yeah.
Once you've got those couple of names, I mean, feel free to talk to family members, friends that may have used one of those companies or what their opinion is towards the company they have used in the past.
Yeah.
Once you've got those company names, get on Google, right? As soon as you Google their name, you're going to see if they have a website. You're going to see Facebook pages, Yelp pages, accreditations from places like Better Business Bureau.
Yeah.
And I think the more that you can find information-wise and sort of see what they're doing in terms of business in your area, it's a much easier way to make a decision on who you want to use going forward.
Okay, great. So really, it's research. Research is all. Research those people. Look for testimonials, reviews, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
So What credentials does a home inspector have? Like, can anyone be a home inspector, or do we need training, licensing? What's the?
I mean, realistically, anybody can become a home inspector.
Yeah.
I think when you're out shopping your choices for home inspectors, you definitely want to look for certifications. So that's our current level of credentials, if you will.
Yeah.
We're going forward, we're going to be going licensing, but currently you want to see a certified home inspector, member of a certified association.
Yeah.
You want to see things like full insurance coverage. Any add-on education, so like for us, the mold certification, the air quality consultant certifications, things that are going to bring more of a benefit to the table aside from just a standard home inspection.
Okay, and so what would a certification be called right now? What's the organization that certifies home inspectors?
So there's a couple in Canada. Yeah. We have Ontario ACHI, which is the Ontario Association of Certified Home Inspectors. We've got a national association as well that covers all of Canada in some respects, so Canadian Association of Certified Home Inspectors. And I think if they're an accredited association, long-running association, and you're a paid member of that, and a certified member of that, then you have your proof in place that you are, where you're supposed to be on the level of.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, and so people, when would I use a home inspector, and is there a cost to it?
Yeah, so using a home inspector for me primarily is during the point of purchase of a home. So potential home buyers are out looking for a home. They're going to have a home inspection done by their choice, and really to find out the conditions of the home. Not just bad, but anything that can be highlighted in terms of good, like upgrades of air conditioning units, furnaces, roof upgrades, insulation upgrades. So
there's no pass or fail of the home inspection?
No, we don't pass, we don't fail.
Yeah.
We point out and try to find issues with the home primarily, right? So a home inspection really is about what's wrong with this home. And I think home buyers want to and need to know that going into the deal because you don't want to get moved into a house and realize that you have issues that otherwise could have been found by a home inspector.
So would it be fair to say a home inspection, it doesn't pass or fail, it's a third-party, educated overview of the current condition of the house?
Very accurate, It's really just identifying not only the component systems and areas throughout the home, but within those areas, do we have an issue? Do we have a problem that we need to look at and address?
So one thing I look at too all the time in home inspections is first-time home buyers. I find it very important too because a lot of times first-time home buyers, they go in the house and they're like, oh, this house is beautiful, I don't want a home inspection. And I'm like, well, sometimes it's really good too to look at it as a checklist of home ownership.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, even if it's on like a newer home, for maintenance checklists, identification on sort of deterioration levels throughout time, weather conditions.
Also, people for future budgeting, like the roof has 8 to 10 years.
Right.
So you're like, oh, okay, I gotta say $50 a month for the next 8 years.
Exactly. And you can give rough estimates in terms of that based on condition. And it's going to give some sort of knowledge going forward for the homeowners to expect.
Which is really good. Okay. And how long does a home inspection take?
So really, it depends on the size of the home,
Yeah.
right? Size of home, sort of complexity of the home. Is there outbuildings that need to be inspected as well? So for us, we find average between 2 and 3 hours for a home inspection. And that's a very thorough sort of investigation of the home. It starts on the exterior. We check out roof components, shingles, flashings, penetration, all sides, doors, windows on the exterior, foundation, obviously. We assess the lot for grading and tree placement. Before we move into the inside, and we're going through every space, the inside, attic spaces, every room, checking absolutely everything, all hydro, all plumbing, all the systems and components.
So sometimes I've done an inspection with Charles and they've taken just over an hour, and sometimes you've been 3 hours.
Right.
So it really varies, and it's something you don't want to rush.
You really don't want to rush it. And again, I think it really pertains to the size and complexity of the home. So if the home is a very small home with very few systems or add-ons, it's definitely going to move a lot faster.
Depends if it's vacant, furniture in the way, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And how does an older home compare to a newer home and inspections and style and
right. So, generally speaking, I think it's fair to say that older homes certainly can have more issues, more suffering, more long-term pain points. Newer homes, generally speaking, should be the opposite of that. Good condition if they're newer. That being said, we've seen it go both ways too. We've seen newer homes that have lackings or didn't have certain things properly hooked up. We've seen older homes that have been very well maintained and very well upgraded at the right times and just in fantastic condition. So, like I said, generally speaking, older homes tend to show more issues. However, I think maintenance and upgrading is very important along the way.
I think in Keswick all the time too, people go into a house and they're like, this isn't the code.
Right.
And I'm like, unless it's brand new, it's really never a code, right? Because the codes are ever changing.
Absolutely. Every single year the codes changed.
And
we're not code compliant, right?
Yeah.
So unlike a city inspector, we can't make anything happen.
Yeah.
But certainly we're going to recommend that you consider changes or upgrades needed.
Certain remedies,
Exactly.
safety, stuff like that.
And mostly in
Yeah.
safety terms.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. And so kind of just give I know we just kind of talked about it, but let's just give a quick point form of the main components of home inspection.
Yeah, well, so yeah, like what I briefly mentioned there earlier. So exterior in general,
Yeah.
and then breaking down the exterior.
Yeah.
Roofing as a section, exterior siding as a section, windows
Yeah.
and doors, you know what I mean? So when you're looking through a Champion home inspection report, it is broken down into those sections. It identifies each individual component and then the level of deterioration or condition otherwise. So
Okay.
yeah, and like I said, also through the interior, every single individual space gets identified and broken down within that space as far as electrical, plumbing, systems, components,
Yeah.
operational function.
So your report too, I've seen you guys do, so you have a tablet, you're doing them as you go,
Mhm.
and then they get a digital report emailed to them, correct?
Yeah, so that's one of our great bonus features.
Yeah,
We
okay.
guarantee same-day delivery on our home inspection reports.
Yeah.
And yes, during the actual process, we are creating that report, taking the pictures, putting it right into the electronic report, and therefore there's nothing left to
Yeah.
guess later on. So if you sit down and create your report after you've done your inspection, you have to do a lot of thinking and remembering and looking back on photos to try to make sure you have all of your details.
So someone, if there's a deficiency, okay, this corner in the basement looks like it's leaking, there'll be in the report, there'll be a picture of that corner, and then the notes next to it. So it's very easy for someone to go back and
Exactly. Yeah, it'll be identified as basement section, whatever, and then a specific sort of location of the wall, and then the obvious issues that are apparent.
Okay. And so people ask me, should I be there? Should the buyer be there for the home inspection?
I prefer buyers to be on
Yeah.
site. It's really about seeing it with your own eyes,
Yeah.
getting an explanation, not only on how that problem may have occurred,
Yeah.
but how you can go about remedying that problem. Right?
Okay.
So being live on site, I think, is very important for
Yeah.
buyers. Yes.
One thing I always say too is people want to invite everyone with them sometimes, and I always tell buyers this. I go, just you and your wife, or you and your husband, or you and your partner, whoever's buying it, should only be there. Because I find if you got 12 people with you, everyone's bugging you.
Yeah.
There's more chance something gets missed.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean, there is certainly distractions are definitely going to hinder the process. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, to provide a good service, the customer is always right. And honestly, if they want to bring people along, that's fine.
Yeah.
But certainly, yes. I mean,
Try to limit the number.
Yeah, it is helpful to keep the number of people down.
And it stops it from being like a 6-hour inspection.
Well, exactly. Yeah, we don't have to take a lot more time and charge a lot more money. Right? So, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so a home inspection, how does it affect? It doesn't affect the closing date or the sale process, really?
I would say not in most cases. I mean, maybe if there was some sort of major issue that then got negotiated upon to then be done by a certain date, maybe that could delay the process, maybe.
Okay.
But I find that closing dates are always still on point.
So here's another thing too we're finding right now, since the market's still pretty busy, we're seeing a lot of multiple offers, and I've had Charles do this for me a few times, is we have buyers that want to purchase a home, we'll actually get Charles to come in before we do an offer.
Yes.
And we'll get him to do an inspection for the buyer so they know when they put in their offer and that, they're safe, right? They're not, you know what they're getting into, and people are like, I don't want to spend money if I don't get the home, but really, it's one of the biggest investments people buy in their life.
It is, right? So to drop a few $100, even if there's that chance that you may not get it, at least you're prepared for it if you do get it. I think it's a good point to make, absolutely.
So where do people find you?
So we can be found we have a great web presence.
Yeah.
So we have a website, we have Facebook.
So what's your website called?
So it is championhomeinspections.ca.
Okay.
And of course, like I said, if you just Google Champion Home Inspections, you're going to see everything that we have as far as web presence. You're going to see our accreditation from the Better Business Bureau. You're going to see our Yelp business page. You're going to see our Google business page, our website, our Facebook pages will all pop up there.
And phone number?
To see. So 519-312-4539. That's the main line that I carry around on my cell phone.
People can call or text you?
People can call, text, email at any given time.
Yeah.
It's not unusual for me to get a call at 10:30 at night that I have to be out on site for that inspection the next morning, right?
I'm guilty of this.
You know firsthand.
Charles Goldon's my first inspection is 9. I'm like, that's 7 a.m. South.
Exactly.
So, thanks everyone. Feel free to write any comments you might have in the future for anyone seeing this later, and we'll try to reach out to Charles and get them answer for you. Then also on our YouTube or Facebook, if you look at our video section, there's a few videos breaking down some of the stuff we just talked about today about home inspections, what's entails, and stuff to look at too. So cheers everyone, have a great week, and remember to shop in your life. Thanks.
Thanks, take care.